Hello friends, today we are starting new series of your question and my answer series part 1. Myself Dr. Hemant Bhavnerkar, I am a oral and maxillofacial surgeon from Mumbai. From today onwards every week we are considering your questions and I will give you your short answer over the questions. In daily session we will cover a minimum 5 questions and my answer. So let us start. What is the maximum local anesthesia dose? Generally, we are mostly use a lignocaine hydrochloride as a local anesthetic agent in our dental clinic, right? And averagely, we received a patient of almost 70 kg approximately in our clinic as a adult patient. So what is the calculation? Generally 7.1 milligram per kg lignocaine dose with 1 is to 1 lakh dilution of adrenaline we use most commonly in 99% of cases. So we are considering a maximum permissible dose of lignocaine hydrochloride is 7 mg per kg. So for 70 kg of patient we can consider as a 70 kg multiplied by 7 milligram, right? So it comes as a 490 milligram total. So we can give a patient 490 milligram of local anesthesia in single visit. So let us consider how many ml of lignocaine we can give. So in our lignocaine, 1 ml content of 21.3 milligram of lignocaine drug, right? So approximately for calculation we are taking a 21 milligram of drug. So we have to divide a 490 milligram divided by 21 mg, right? So it comes as a 23.33 ml of local anesthesia. So our answer is totally we can give a 23.33 ml of local anesthesia in single sitting. If we are using a 3 ml of syringe, so divided by a 3 it comes as a 7.7 syringe. Approximately 7 syringe we can give safely, right? And if we are using 5 ml of syringe, then we can give a 4 to 5 4.5 syringe per patient per visit. So this is the maximum permissible dose of local anesthesia. Okay, our next question is syncope diagnosis. So how we can diagnose the syncope? So it is the most common emergency in dental office as we know, and it is a most frequent also. So we have to always be prompt on diagnosis of syncope and its implication of treatment. So it is a what is a syncope? It is a transient loss of consciousness and postural tone. So what are the clinical features? The most common is fainting, pale skin, rapid breathing of patient, slightly nausea, weakness of leg and sweating. Generally 99% of patients don't require any management. They come out of the syncope within 3 to 5 minutes. Maximum cases of pre-syncope stage. But if required, what management we can do? Most commonly we have to provide a oxygen, external oxygen outlet. So we have to give oxygen via nose and mouth and tell patients to breathe, right? Then what we can do next? We have to do a head low position, so the patient's overall airway, breathing and circulation is managed. Then if patient is conscious, we have to provide a oral glucose or glucon D solution. With these 3 to 4 stages, patient generally come out of it and patient don't require any hospitalization required. So these are the basic management for the syncope. Then what is the next question? How to stop a bleeding, right? As we know, most of the time after extraction patients having a bleeding and doctors are having a difficulty to manage the bleeding. So few simple treatment management I am telling you. First, most common is we have to give a pressure pack for 3 to 5 minutes and we have to avoid looking at the bleeding spot again and again. We have to wait minimum 3 to 5, just mark on your watch and wait for 5 minutes, then take out the pressure pack. Then we have to compress the wound, right? Compression wound helps a lot, so it's most commonly and it's work like wonder. Then what we can do next, a topical Botroclot solution for soft tissue bleeding we can apply, or for bone bleeding we can use a bone wax, right? How we can use it, I have already told it in my detail in my bleeding management video, so kindly go through and watch. Then what is the next we can do, we have to do a good suture at the point of extraction wound, so the our bleeding, it helps to stop the bleeding. Then still if the patient is having a bleeding and it's not stopping, then what we can do, we have to give a, we have to open our emergency drug, we have to take out tranexamic acid injection 500 milligram, and we have to give IV, right? So these are the basics measures of management of bleeding. Then when to advise a CBCT, maximum my students ask me, call me and ask that, sir, how, when we have to advise a patient to CBCT. So there are many indications, but what are the common here? The most common indication for CBCT is for dental implant planning, right? What is the next, for pathology diagnostics like cyst, a big cyst, a soft tissue pathology or hard tissue pathology inside the bone, right? Then what is the next, for trauma management in fracture cases, we have to advise the CBCT. Then TMJ problem, clicking sounds, not able to open the sound, pain at DMJ. So in such a cases also we have to advise a CBCT. Then endodontic uses, for the extra root canal we can found it on the CBCT. Then next one is facial asymmetry, or and the impacted tooth or canine or wisdom tooth. In such cases also we can advise a CBCT. Okay, what is the next question? Okay, painkillers for the dialysis patients. Generally, on dialysis patient having a higher creatinine level. So maximum we have to use such a painkiller which does not metabolize it in renal ways, right? So we have to avoid such a analgesics. So most commonly and safest drug we already know is a paracetamol, but paracetamol is not so potent. So after the giving paracetamol, patient still having a pain, then patients call us, sir, we don't getting a relief, then what we can do? So the next good option is a tramadol hydrochloride, right? Because its metabolism is not with the kidney, right? And it is a centrally acting synthetic analgesic drug, right? So it's a good choice of option for the dialysis patients, right? So here we are answering the your questions. You can put your questions in a chat box down the video, so I will cover the answers to your questions in my next video. If you haven't subscribed my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe my oral surgery and beyond YouTube channel for free learning of oral surgery topics and your question and answer sessions. So thank you for today.